Hey sis, have you ever felt like you should have forgiven somebody by now? You should have already forgiven them, or at least you feel like you should have. And then it's like you thought about it, you prayed about it, you tried. It's not even like you haven't tried to move forward, because you did. In thinking about it, praying about it, saying you want to move forward, trying to move forward. But then it's like something still within you still feels like heavy though. And then it's like you start wondering like what's wrong with me? Like why can't I just get over this? It was so painful, but Lord, I know I need to forgive, but why can't I get over this? Or you're just thinking like just flat out, why? Why is this lingering? And then you start wondering to yourself, you may be saying stuff like, what's wrong with me though? Like what's wrong with me? If that's you, let's talk about it. Because the thing is that so something many people feel is just like that sense of why? Why? You want to know why? Like why can't I get over this? Why can't I move past this? But the thing is that you don't always say it out loud. You just like internalize it and feel like, why can't I get over this? But the thing is that says psychology shows that like emotional experiences, they actually take time to process. And a lot of people will tell you, I don't know if it's a lot, but some people sit there and tell you that you should just get over it, forgive and forget. But it doesn't quite work like that because sometimes it takes time to like get over it, especially like if you were hurt deeply. It just takes time because when your mind is still like looping and playing what happened over and over and over, your body still feels it. So, because your mind is replaying that intense pain over and over and over, whatever they may have done, like cheating or deception or, you know, hurt anything that was majorly hurtful to you, dishonesty that just rocked you, betrayal. I mean, whatever that is, your mind could be still replaying that same thing over and over and over as to what happened. And then in turn, your body sits and feels it, the pain. And so every time you think about it over and over and over, you're refilling that same pain and trauma over and over. So it's like you're reliving it over and over again. And so what happens with that is that now what happens is that means that your body still has it active. Because remember, your mind is talking about it over and over. Your body is physically feeling it over and over and over again. So guess what? It keeps it active. And that's why forgiveness can feel so hard because of the replaying and the reenactment, like the feeling it over and over and over. So it's so hard to get over that hurdle and forgive because you're still actively feeling it, just like it just happened. And it's not that you don't want to forgive, it's not that at all. It's just that, but because you're still processing all that pain. Yep. And so that's why I always tell people that, it's not something that you force to just get over it. Just move on, go to the next thing. It doesn't work like that because then you'll compartmentalize it and you don't actually feel it. Yes, you need to feel it, but we need to transition out of the loop of feeling it over and over and over. And so it's something that we just kind of have to like gently move through it. Okay. So let's think about it another way. You guys know I like analogies and stuff like that. So here's one for you. It's kind of like, let's say you cut yourself, like you fell and cut yourself, or had a injury or something like that, and you cut yourself, and then it like tore open and had a big wound on it. What it's like is that you don't want to just, you got to gently kind of close it up to make sure, that it doesn't reopen. So it takes time and it takes meticulous steps to make sure that it's closed. And so you have to kind of allow it to heal on its own. And so the thing is that, let's say you didn't have a bandage or anything on that open wound, and it was open, and I mean, even though they closed it up or whatever, and you see it, and then let's say it start itching or it start looking kind of funky or something like that, and then you start picking at it. Now you're busting it back open again. That's kind of like the same thing. It's like, okay, we're trying to heal, but when we're reliving it and refilling it and rethinking it, we're tearing it back open again. And so that's how emotional healing works, like just like that analogy that I gave you. So every time we kind of just bust it back open again, and we're living it and feeling it again. So now we got to try to close it up and heal some more. We think about it again, we feel it again. Now it's all open again, and then you see how that vicious cycle can happen. And so, in essence, what you need to do is just try to give it time and the space and the care that it needs. Like, talk through it, give yourself some time, be gentle with yourself, walk through your emotions. Don't try to shut them off like it didn't happen. Just kind of actually deal with what happened and just try to take a little step forward at a time. And then that's where some people get stuck, is because they try to skip through processes, just jump from, oh, this happened, to, what, I'm healing, or jump to, like, let's say you were betrayed, or you were in a relationship and you were betrayed, instead of saying, you know what, I have to sit with and work through these feelings and this pain and stuff that I'm dealing with. Now, you know what, I'm just gonna go get somebody else. Okay, but that pain and stuff is still there, because now you're going to be looking at the other person from the lens of what happened to you before, because you didn't get healed yet. So that's why you got to kind of walk through the steps to kind of go through the healing process. Okay. So it's some people that's just try to go straight to forgiveness without fully processing what happened. So I know it's painful, and I know nobody wants to like walk through that pain, but you have to kind of walk through it, what happened, and then process what happened fully. And then so you can begin to start releasing some of it a little at a time, a little at a time. You okay? And then you have to also fully acknowledge everything that went along with that situation. Not compartmentalize, meaning put it in this box. I'm just gonna only deal with this part. I'm gonna leave this, and this here, but I'm only gonna deal with this. You gotta try to kind of deal with all of it, like the whole thing, okay? Because you can't release it if you haven't fully acknowledged it. Yeah. If you kind of shut this part off, you really still kind of have it there cooking, versus releasing it, however long it's, a little bit at a time, so you can get rid of all the pain and stuff that your body is carrying. And so, instead of forcing yourself to forgive, just boom, jumping, like I said, jumping steps, instead of doing that, just continue to be honest with yourself about what you actually feel, and what, the emotions that actually come with it, and things like that. Like if it's the hurt, the disappointment, betrayal, all of that, just kind of sit with it and kind of try to feel it, to make sure you can actually acknowledge that this is what happened to me. So how would you do that? Like you would say stuff like, I really love this person, and they hurt me so bad, and it makes me feel like I don't want to trust anybody else, but they did this or that. Or, maybe I saw some of the red flags and I ignored them, and it's my fault. You may feel like you're blaming yourself and things like that. Or coming to the realization that, hey, you know what, even though I did see some of those red flags, or maybe I didn't because they put on a mask or whatever, that, at least I know now. I know now, and this did hurt me, and this was very detrimental. Or let's say somebody betrayed you that like you never thought would have betrayed you because you were so close and you just never saw that coming. You just kind of have to sit and sit with that. I really trusted this person and I feel hurt. I feel betrayed. I feel disappointed. I feel let down, and this is hurting me. It's impacting me right now, and I know I need to move forward, and I need to be able to forgive them, not for them, but for me, so I can move forward and move past this. And if you are spiritual or or anything like that, you could just say, Lord, change my heart, help me to move past this, help me to kind of guide me to be able to forgive a little bit more today. And I know it's not for them so much, but it is for me. But your word does say we're supposed to forgive. So things like that just kind of help yourself move and sit in it, but to actually acknowledge like what you're feeling, okay? And then as you acknowledge it and state the impact it had on you, for example, hurt. I trusted this person and the impact it had on me is now I'm kind of nervous about who I could trust, or it hurt me so deeply I could feel it in my body feels the stress, it's heavy, I could feel it in my chest when I go around anybody or family members. I could feel it because even though we're not together, or I dealt with this situation with this person, when I see somebody that they know, it kind of brings it all up. Or now I have to watch this person with this person, and that could have been me, and it hurts me to be, whatever you're feeling, just get it out and out in the atmosphere. Just like, it could be you just sitting down with your meditation, or you, if you're spiritual, you could just be talking to God, telling him exactly how you feel, how it impacted you, where you are now. Because remember, he's close to the brokenhearted, so he knows the beginning and the end. He already knows what's going on. He knows the betrayal, he knows the hurt, he knows the deceit. So he already knows everything that they did to you. And then, so once you start doing that, then it helps you to kind of process those layers of what's going on. And then, next thing you know, something starts to shift. So then it'll get a little bit lighter each time that you do it, and you'll move a little bit closer into, your purpose and getting back to yourself. Okay. And so, and then it won't be because you forced it, but because you're moving, you're actively moving and navigating through like all this stuff that's going on. And then next thing you know, you're not feeling as weighted down and heavily impacted. And then also remember too that like forgiveness is not about excuse me, it's not about saying that what happened was okay. Like we're not justifying what somebody did, that we're not saying it's okay at all, because it's not okay. But what it is about freeing yourself, just getting yourself free from carrying the burden and the weight and the heaviness of it. It's actually just freeing you from that. And then next thing you know, that freedom, it does happen over time, but then you'll start to kind of blossom and feel better about things, better about yourself. So once you just kind of let some of those layers and work through those layers, next thing you know, you'll start blossoming. Okay. So if you feel like you're not quite there yet, though, just remember that you don't have to rush it. You don't have to jump from step one all the way to step 10. You know what I mean? Don't jump from here to here. Just kind of work through like the process. But just understand too that you're not behind or anything like that in the process. You're exactly where you're supposed to be right now. So if you're watching this, that's step one. You get to talk about it, hear about it, and then now it's helping you, give you some ideas of how you can kind of release some things. And so you're exactly where you're supposed to be. So I hope this message helped you to kind of lean into, even wanting to try to forgive somebody that hurt you. Because remember, that's going to hurt you more than it hurts them, because they're going on about their business and about their day. Maybe they are, maybe they're not, but it's weighing you down from being the best you that you could be, okay? So if this message helped you at all, please like and subscribe. My name is Melinda. I'm a registered nurse, life coach, and mentor. And on this channel, we focus on faith, healing, and emotional wellness. Okay. So I'm also trying to grow the channel. I'm a newer channel. So if this message touched you at all, do me a solid and please like and subscribe. Turn your notifications on so you get notified whenever I post. All right. And as always, I'm wishing that you have a lovely day, marvelous day, peaceful day, and wishing that you have peace, love, joy, and happiness. All right. Have a great day, guys. Bye.